Hey guys, Chris Lynton here from TribeFit, and we've got a very, very special guest with us today, Luke Tulloch. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly, buddy.
You got it, mate.
Fantastic, mate. You're making me feel a bit over trimmed here at the moment with the beard you're out.
This
So
is trimmed. I actually trimmed it recently, mate. It's less crazy than usual.
fantastic. We probably, mate, you did me a service by trimming it before jumping on here. Less of a man if you had an even bigger beard. Oh, all good, cool. Guys, anyone that doesn't know of Luke, obviously there's probably millions of you out there that do, but anyone that doesn't know of Luke, could you give us a little bit of an intro background about yourself?
Yeah, man. So I've been a trainer for 10 years doing mostly face-to-face stuff. I'm in Sydney. I work at an independent gym, but I run my own business. And basically my background is very scientific. So I did a neuroscience degree, and my sort of angle, I suppose, is being able to relay the scientific information that's out there in an easy to understand, implement
Yeah,
way for my clients.
cool. Okay. And so you, in terms of your clients, what do you, who do you help and what do you do for them at the moment?
Yeah, my client base has traditionally been a lot of, I suppose, just general population people coming in, but
Yeah.
more and more I've started working with other trainers actually. And so now my business is mostly focused on coaching other coaches.
Cool. Awesome. And in terms of online clients, I know you've had some pretty good successes, and we're going to get on to talking about the nuances around that in a moment. But
Mm.
since starting, how many online clients have you had, and how many do you currently have at the moment?
Yeah, I used to do just a few here and there sort of thing with other trainers, but I've recently started doing a proper mentorship program since starting with TribeFit and set it all up properly. So I've got 6 people paying a fair amount of money with me at the moment, and quite a long waiting list actually, because I didn't want to take too many at once so that I could actually handle it systems wise. But about to do another intake pretty soon here, so it should be a few more.
Fantastic, mate. Well, congratulations on your results, mate. You deserve every bit of it. And moving on to today's topic, everyone that's watching this, whether you're watching it on the website or in the group, weekly, we like to invite a legend, an expert into the group that can give some insight and help some people. And Luke, mate, you've got an absolute thriving community, thriving tribe, I like to call it for obvious reasons. Um, and mate, it's grown really rapidly. I think you've probably only started it a month or 2 months ago, thereabouts.
Yeah, at most 2 months, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And I looked at this morning, I think like 1.3 thousand people in the group at the moment.
Yep.
And the energy, it's not just about people, it's about the quality, the energy, the engagement, everything massive. So, mate, I was wanting to invite you on today to ask you a couple of questions about that for anyone that might be looking for info, advice, tips on that. So, first question, what would you say has been what would you say has been the biggest reason for the growth and the engagement on your group today?
Yeah, well, I started and I had a few mates who are PTs help me start up that group, and there was like 10 people in there. So I was pretty happy with that to start with.
Yeah,
And I think being genuine and putting out the best possible information I could has always been something that I've been trying to do. And, so those guys were really happy to invite their friends just because I asked them. And for me, it's always been a case of I know my stuff. I'm very confident in my knowledge, but I'm not so confident in putting myself out there, taking the step and asking people to help me out. And doing that to start with generated a lot of momentum. And as more people joined the group that I didn't personally know, they saw that I was putting a lot of effort into providing good information, interacting with as many people as I could. And I wasn't looking for anything in return other than, hey, if you're enjoying the info, invite a few more people. And then it really exploded when I put up an offer and I said, hey, guys, if you invite, 20 plus people. I'll give you this, this and that. And I had some people inviting over 100 people, so it exploded from there. And now it's to the point where we literally get probably 15, 20 people asking to join the group every day. And so I have to be more selective in who I'm inviting to this group, which just keeps the quality so high. But I think it's having that mutual respect for everybody in there, providing as much value as you possibly can, and just hammering it day after day. Because I found that even if people aren't necessarily liking your content to start with, they do notice it, and eventually they start getting into it and interacting with you. And so I would sometimes have people on the street just say, "Hey man, I saw your video or whatever, and I really liked it." And they hadn't liked it online, but it's still reaching them. And so when I say, "Hey man, you got to like it, you got to comment," and they start doing it, and you get more and more engagement. So yeah.
No, that's wicked. And just to kind of second on what you said there is the the exclusivity, not just exclusivity for the case of exclusivity, but really knowing what the group's there for, and it's for value, and being ruthless about who you let in, because you want to keep the quality high, keep the value. And I couldn't say it any better. Just a singular mind frame on what it's there for, and it's not about you, it's about helping them. And every activity that you're doing and everything you've just said is about serving that purpose, which I think people love. People want to be part of communities and part of things where other people are in, similar situations or similar journeys. And you've really created a really good environment for that. Cool. So next question, probably just to dive down on something you just said then. How often are you in the group? Like some people might think, oh, Luke must be in there 8 hours a day, and how's he getting done?
Yeah, I batch it. So at least twice a day I'm going in there, and I get so many notifications. I'm sure you're the same, mate. You get so many notifications after a while, everything gets lost. So I physically go into the group and I'll scroll through, I'll read, and I'll add value and comments where I can. And I make sure that if someone's asking a question, even if I don't have the answer for it, I'll put a comment there and say, hey, these are my thoughts. Maybe there's someone in here who can help you. Maybe tag a few people who can. And I'll try and do that twice a day. There's usually sort of ongoing comment threads in there where I'll jump in, and I actually genuinely enjoy engaging in it, because we've created this community where there are people who know what they're talking about, and there are some trainers in there who are pretty green, pretty fresh, who don't really know too much yet, because they're just getting started on their journey. But the quality of the people in there is high, which means the actual discussions are worth having. You don't have 10,000 faceless people who aren't really contributing anything. So yeah, I get in there at least twice a day, but it's definitely not sitting on Facebook constantly. But batching it is really key, I think.
Yeah, good call. And it's as you said, I do the same. I batch it. I have times in my calendar where I jump in. Otherwise, you are getting notifications all day long. And if you're looking at every single notification, you will be in there all day, and your energy, your focus will just be very, very disjointed. Cool. So in terms of the group, 6 paying clients, long waiting list. Did you spend any Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or did you spend thousands to get those clients?
No, absolutely zero.
Cool. And I guess the point being, the reason why I wanted to bring that up is the power of communities, the power of audiences. Facebook advertising, if you are listening to this, Facebook advertising is not, it's not a golden goose. It's not just going to start laying golden eggs for you. Facebook advertising, all you're doing is you're paying Facebook to put your message in front of someone that you can help. But you can also do that in free ways, and Luke's shown exactly that. So we've talked about 1,300 members at the moment. When you put out your first offer, people might be thinking, oh God, I've got to get at least 1,000 before I can get 6 clients or a waiting list or whatnot. How big was the group when you first put out your offer and got your first clients in?
Mate, I can't remember, but it was, mate, probably maybe 400 or 500, maybe 600 tops. It was like at most half of what it is now. But like I said before, the people in there were ideal. You know, it was selective, and yeah, they like you say, you know, if you're putting an ad in front of somebody, they're just seeing it for the first time, and you've got to somehow generate rapport with this person in the 3 seconds that they're glancing at it. You know, whereas these people in the group, we're interacting constantly. They can see that, you know, even if what I'm offering is not quite right for them, they have an overall very positive attitude about me. You know, so I know with confidence now that I can put whatever I want in that group, and it's going to be seen in a positive light, which I think is very important.
Beautiful, mate. It's good to hear, and just to make sure that people don't freak out thinking, "Oh, I need to get 1,000 before I can even get any clients." It's about, you've got, you know, a relationship, you've got credibility, you're giving value, and that's the sole purpose. And as a result, when you do have something to offer, if it is a fit for them, then the people will take it up. Those that aren't a fit right there and then, that's cool too. Keep giving value, and there'll be a time where they may need help, or maybe your free value gets them on the way, and they get massive results just from the free support in the groups, which is going to build massive rapport and all that stuff as well. Cool. So I guess to wrap up, Luke, mate, this has been awesome. Would there be, if someone's listening to this and they're never started a group before, they're literally starting from scratch like you did, you know, under 2 months ago, what would you say to them if they're hesitant or they don't know where to start?
Just do it. This has been my problem throughout my career, is that I haven't. So I just dived in and pulled the trigger and done it. There's been a few nervous moments for me starting the group, inviting random people, putting out an offer. Every single time I've taken that step and just done it, I've had a really good outcome. So just do it, get it started. And, you know, if there's any issues, you'll figure it out as you go. But I'm sure it'll work anyway.
Beautiful, mate. Fantastic for that. And just to repeat the power of the competitions within groups as well. Luke's touched on, obviously, starting the group. You've got to start something. You've got to start a party, and then you want to create a really cool party that everyone wants to be invited to and go to. And then, in due time, using people within there to bring their friends in and really create a community. And as Luke mentioned, putting out a competition can really, really build that group, that community vibe, and get other people adding their friends and all that sort of stuff. So some awesome tips there, mate. Really appreciate your time. I think we've picked your brain fairly deeply, so apologies for that if we've gone too far in depth. But, mate, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for giving your time to anyone that's listening to this. And, guys, if you are listening at home, hopefully that rings true. And if you're fearful of pulling the trigger, just as Luke said, fire away, just do it, make it happen. And that's it from us today. Speak to you soon, Luke.
Mate. Absolutely, mate. Cheers.